Hello and welcome to the first episode of Superb Diamond Range. Today's date is Monday, the 21st of October 2013. I'll introduce myself first of all. My name is Superb Stephen, and I have a co-host here. Let yourself be known.
Hello, good morning to you all, and my name is Diamond Des, and thank you for tuning in to our channel, and we hope you all will enjoy, and feel free to leave comments, and over the next few months and weeks, we plan to have some interesting guests who you all will, I'm sure, learn from, and a lot of you will already know of. So back to you, Superb.
Okay, thank you, Diamond. Basically part of why we're doing this podcast is we want to kind of make an unstructured show that talks about many different subjects over a different range. In particular, we're very interested in alternative subjects and topics, ranging from many different ways.
Because as we all live in this system, we are taught one dimension and one way of thinking, and like it or not, most of our thoughts are given to us, and they're not our own thoughts. The way we view the world are the views of the media, the way you've been educated at school, and a lot of things that have happened to us throughout our lives have been structured that way to actually deceive us. And so, in a nice and friendly way, we're trying alternative ways, and we're going to learn different things as well, also like medicine, how to heal yourself. But yes, in the next few weeks, we will talk about many avenues which will open out and hopefully help us open our minds and be more focused.
Certainly will. Certainly will. Looking forward to it. I figured that the first episode we'd like to do a bit of an introduction, about ourselves and sort of where we're coming from, and how our lives have been so far. I guess we could start with yourself, Diamond. Just sort of give a bit of a brief background and.
Sure. Well, I was born over here in the UK, 1969, November the 1st. Went to a local school, which, as a child growing up, prior to going to school, I was very, very happy. And one thing I did notice, I was also very, very spiritual as well. I saw a lot of things, whilst being asleep. Also as well, being awake as well, I encountered many things as, I would go to the kitchen by myself and I would see a skeleton looking at me through the kitchen window. This is like like a toddler. And then going to school, I really felt like I was in prison. I never liked it. For the first 2 years of my school life, I never said a word to any of the teachers. So with that happening, they called in child psychiatrists to talk to me and my mother, and I spoke to them. So they obviously knew there was nothing wrong with me. But I just had this feeling of I wasn't in the right place going to school, and I did realise, I did notice that I wasn't happy, in school. And I think your school life, you should be happy as well. And you're just being trained basically just to use one part of your brain instead of being more active and creative, which practically all young children are very creative. We're just taught one way, and your dreams or aspirations as a child were gone.
Totally.
And going into my teenage years, I got getting on well at school and accepting things. Became very good at sports. all sports, like football, athletics, basketball, rugby, cricket. Excelled in athletics. I competed at international level as as a teenager, a youth level, which is the ages of 16 to 18, and yeah, that's some great days. And I joined. I was a member of two very good athletic clubs. So from doing my athletics, I learned how to train people to keep fit. And prior to that, and the years after that, I've been teaching and taking fitness classes. I train football teams like local Sunday league teams, and also I do personal training. But still, I've come back to myself and realizing that I am a spiritual being, which is the main thing. To do good to people and not think of money all the time as we're taught, and really, really helping people, showing love, because if you look around in the media, there isn't much love. You turn the TV on, everything is bad news, sad news, disasters happening, and I would say a lot of it is down to the vibration we put out there for ourselves. And what else can I say? But I'm looking forward to the next few years of developing, because throughout my life I've been asking questions, and when you ask those kind of questions, you sort of meet different people throughout your life who are on your wavelength as well. So
Most definitely.
I've been privileged to meet some fantastic people over the years. Um, Super, known as the Great Keith, and we all have nicknames, which is good. And yeah, there's many great people I've met, and also the last 10 years meeting you, Superb. My life has gone forward in a big way, because I give thanks to you for showing me how to use the internet, and had I not used or met you, maybe I wouldn't be where I am today. So I owe you a big one for that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And over to you now, Superb.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I was born in February over in the UK. I similar to Diamond, I had the same thing where I was growing up. It just didn't feel right. Everything, the whole world, especially school. I can remember going to school, even the first day, and I was crying, and I didn't want my mother to leave me. It took me a long time to kind of come round and
It certainly
accept.
relates to that.
Yeah, and I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, what is all this about? And having the whole routine of it, every day going in, and I also found it very boring. And I remember like summer holidays, just didn't want them to end. Just wanted to be able to play and just do normal things. But yeah, always having to, in the back of my mind, the thought of returning, um, which is sort of partly why I didn't really continue with education um, after I finished high school, because I just didn't like any of it. I didn't like the authority of the teacher, and the way that they sort of just look at things from one viewpoint. They don't let you question things, or it's like get your head in the book and shut up and don't ask questions, kind of thing. I used to find in the classroom as well that I used to be one of the people always putting the hand up, always asking questions, and the teacher never liked that. They used to ignore me and make faces while I was reading and while I was asking questions. I also found pupils at the school. I mean, obviously, I had met good friends along the way, but there was a lot of bullying. There was a lot of people that apparently were really popular and everyone got along with, and they always people always respected them, but I never quite understood why. And I just didn't like the whole structure of it, to be honest. Like obviously, leaving school, I just saw straight away that I was given an option, by my parents that, I could either go to work or go to college. I wasn't too keen on going to college, so I opted for work, which again is something that I never really enjoyed. Maybe it could be because I never found the type of job I really enjoy, or maybe again it goes back to the working for someone else and being bossed about, told what to do, and
Yeah, I hear you there again.
totally.
I hear you there again.
Yeah, so I just, I felt it wasn't right at all, and it's continued to feel that way. It's not changed too much, and always sort of looking for ways out and trying to figure out, how I can, develop myself and, live a better life. And that's kind of what I've been in search for. I would say, no interest in money or anything like that. I mean, I want to enjoy good experiences, but to me, everything sort of keeps coming back to money in the system, and I think that that's one of the big things where, if you don't collect enough paper, you get discarded by the system, and even
That's
your friends and everybody,
right.
family. Um,
And the real wealth isn't really the money, though, is it? Because the real wealth is the land we live on, and you realise that not many people actually take care of our planet, which is our home.
that's right.
They're chopping trees down all the time and destroying rainforests and slaughtering animals for food, which they think is okay. Well, growing up as well, I must admit I was one of them, eating meat all the time, but I've become a vegetarian also.
Me
This
too.
year.
Yeah, we're both vegetarian now. We realise that the industries behind meat and things like dairy and stuff, they can't be trusted, and they're trying to tell us that it's good for us and that it's helping us. But when you do a bit of research, you realise that we're not carnivores. We're herbivores, and our bodies aren't designed for that. For meat, and
That's right.
so, and you realise how much better you feel. You feel a lot stronger and healthier. You can live a lot longer, obviously, if you treat yourself right, and that's something that we learned that we're very big
So,
into is health. Yeah,
so and also the poor animals that are slaughtered every day for for people's enjoyment. They're also taken away from their families too.
that's right.
These
Yeah,
these animals are part of a family too, and they deserve to live their life to the full. Uh,
totally. Yeah, they're just as in slavery as sort of everyone.
yeah,
It's
of
people
course.
don't think about them. They think, oh, they're just an animal. They're not important. Um, but yeah, they have feelings and
I mean,
souls.
people sort of eat lamb, don't they?
That's
But
right. Yeah,
it could have, if you check this out, it's just the lamb being unlucky. It could have been dog. It could have been the lamb that would be playing the part of a dog, and the dog playing the part of a lamb. But
exactly.
I'm sure they both be pretty much taste the same. If people were to I'm sure there are people that eat both. But yeah, regardless, all animals who deserve to live their life to the full.
Totally. Yeah,
Uh, They have feelings, emotions. They have spirit as well. They're happy.
definitely.
That's
Just shows you how cruel, you know, the establishment is, that they get people to do it, like, and they've tricked a lot of people in so many areas of their life, from diet to
Yes, that's
everything.
very true. Because there's one thing I definitely was taught was that we need meat in our life growing up, and I'm sure most people have heard that.
Definitely.
Probably growing up, we, in my case anyway, probably yours too, we didn't really know many vegetarians
Yeah, that's exactly right.
growing up. And
Yeah.
so it was the norm to have a big feast, have fish or chicken or pork, whatever it is. And then they would go to church and talk about how blessed they are, and you think, no.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah, because sort of having an Irish background, the famous meat and potatoes every night, and it's just like all the dishes sort of seem to involve meat of some sort,
Of
and
course.
even breakfast was sort of like full English, full Irish breakfast, and it's the way it's been cooked, everything's fried, and it's like we all believe that it's a good breakfast, and
That's right, yeah.
obviously it's not very good at all.
Because in a lot of places, they actually feed the animals with steroids as well, make them really big,
That's
so
right.
so they're getting more out of them.
Yep,
So
that's right.
so their life isn't a life; it's just to be part of a production line and to
That's
be
right.
slaughtered.
And then you've got like the fast food companies like McDonald's and KFC, where they have that thing where um, they grind out the bones just to etch a bit more profit, and
Whoa, that
put it
is
into the
gross.
burger. Yeah,
That is gross.
yeah. So it's just like people wonder why they feel
Yeah,
hungry after having a burger or whatever, and
that's true. And
you know
you find a lot of people will complain about some sort of meat they've eaten, and then really they should be questioning themselves first.
definitely.
What sort of places and what they're going to, because you can't really complain to McDonald's and say, look, about all these chemicals in the food, because everything in McDonald's is all chemicals.
That's right. Yeah.
Um, BK, Burger King, um, all of
Pizza
them.
Hut.
Pizza Hut as well.
Yeah. Just chemical in it. It's all chemicals.
I'm looking forward to when they listen to this and try and sue us as well. Do, not sue me anyway. They, I'll give them a promise to pay. Give them a note.
Yeah.
You just add it to the national debts. What they say we owe, you know.
That's right. Another thing that's sort of made up, fictional.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's just, it's absolutely, there's so much lies out there. You can't trust anything they say on the news and entertainment
it's shocking.
channels.
It's absolutely shocking.
And if you
Uh,
wear a suit and tie, you're respected, and you can't be lying. You must be telling the truth. But as we know, it's not the case.
exactly, exactly. So that we're taught a man in a suit and tie equals the truth and respect, and a man in a tracksuit or something less, or maybe even naked, means you got to watch that one. So just goes to show now that people have put the suit or the clothing or the uniform above the actual human being,
That's right.
which
Yeah,
is which will be another topic for us,
totally.
another show. But the uniform versus the flesh.
That's
We
right.
were born naked, and so we were born naked and we were born as equal to everyone. But you put a uniform on someone, that becomes the authority.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
it's not actually the man that is the authority. The authority has become the job,
Yep.
the,
Totally.
the fictitious world we live in, the part of the lies that are being pulled over our eyes.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, because obviously all men are created equal, and there's nobody above men other than, a creator of sorts. And
Exactly.
the only way that you can tell another man to do something, um, you know, um, would be through contract. Any other way would be like slavery, would be forcing you to do something you don't want to do.
That's right.
Um, and that's sort of where they've got us really is through contract. My advice to people is, try and stop signing these contracts, and take back your power,
I would totally agree with that one.
Yeah,
Because the contracts we sign are shocking. Everything what we practically signed from the first contracts was signed for us was our birth certificate,
that's right. Yeah,
which more or less had us in bondage to the country. It says basically you're an Englishman or American, so whatever country, Filipino or Venezuela, means that you're part of that country. You're not free citizen of the world,
that's right.
which the great people were, like Jesus Christ would have been for sure. But his teachings are taken the wrong way. He never belonged to any religion or any country. He spoke about freedom, taught about being free. Never had anything to do with money. Helped people, healed people. He never asked for any money in return, did he?
That's right. Yeah,
So you think these churches are all raking all this money in?
just pure business, pure
Yeah,
business. Yeah, give us your money, and
exactly.
you know
Buy your way into heaven as well. So
that's right. Yeah, that's another thing that we're going to talk about in future episodes is religion and control by the government and anything to do with control really. And there's
so
plenty of that out there.
there's far too much.
Yeah, lots of rules and codes and acts and statutes and you know so-called laws, and there's not none of them are really real laws.
No, no, a statute and an act is not even worth the paper they're printed on. So the average policeman wouldn't have a clue about all the statutes and acts. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't really want them to know the truth anyway.
That's right.
So
Yeah, I mean we're policed by consent, so at the end of the day, anybody giving consent, um,
consent is optional. It's not force. So
that's
you don't
right.
have to give consent. That's why they call it consent. Yes or no? No.
Exactly. It's easy, but yet we're taught at school to respect authority figures, like doctors, like police, like lawyers, liars.
That's right.
you know,
Police, military, the butchers, the henchmen of the government.
that's right. So nobody wants to question authority, and they try to tell us not to question authority, and
Exactly.
just to keep going on with what you're doing, and don't be a free thinker.
Exactly. And then you will realise one day that the real authority is the truth,
That's right.
and it always has been, always will be. But the lies, the school gets you ready for all this,
Yep.
and not everyone can be fooled all the time, but most people are.
Because the school is like the prison for young people,
Of
and
course,
then
it
work becomes a prison later as well.
exactly. So you realise the whole world, all the countries are prisons. That's why they have names.
Yep, all the corporations that claim to be countries, but they're all de facto.
Exactly.
You know, there's no de jure governments out there. It's all made up, literally.
Because when the creator would have created this lovely home planet we live on, there was no division, was there?
No way, no way.
But with man's intelligence and his sneakiness and his cunningness, he has really, really done everything against mankind, and he's insulted the creator. and that leads onto the bloodlines, the people who are controlling, running the show.
That's right.
How things got going in certain ways, like where money came into the picture. But money has been around for quite a while anyway. And, you know, I do not care what anyone says, but money is a sign of slavery.
Definitely.
You know,
Yeah, it's like you gotta collect as much of it as you can, or you can't exist. And
exactly.
you know, if you haven't got a lot, you're not, in the system. You're a nobody. You know, they won't help you or anything. You know, it's
Well, you know, you go to most places in the world, you know, there's hardly any currency. You know, if you look at 70% of the world, for starters, doesn't drink clean water every day.
yeah, that's right. Some of them don't even have toilets.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly. So,
which is
you know, the
really so
wealth of the
sad.
world has been kidnapped as well and stolen.
Totally.
And that's where the Vatican come in, our friends as well, who started the religions.
Yeah, the
And, you know,
Pope that everybody loves. You
exactly,
know,
the ones who formed the kings and queens of Europe, who, you know, the Vatican who anoints all the kings and queens of Europe.
that's right.
But, you know, we're looking forward to some meeting some interesting people.
Definitely, yeah, we are
You
looking to
can
line
sort
up
of,
guests in the future.
yeah, you can share some deeper words and knowledge. And there's another thing as well. You know, if you're willing to sort of seek the truth, you shouldn't have to pay because, you know, the truth is for everyone.
That's right, totally
And
agree.
it seems like the bad things in life, what keeps us in bondage, we do pay for.
Definitely,
Things
yeah,
what people do not really need, like all the drama, all the sports. You know, if you want to take people away from the truth, just give them a ball, put the baseball on TV, put the soccer game on, and that's it.
that's it.
Got
Bottle
the
of bottle of beer.
yeah, you've got the mentality of the Colosseum crowd
Yeah,
watching the entertainment, watching the fight, watching the gladiators.
yeah, that's right. And like another thing we want to talk about is obviously about the fans, about being so obsessed with sport. Obviously, they like football fans over here. They usually say they refer to their favorite football team as we, like they're in the team or they're part of the club. But as we know, they're just fans, and
Exactly.
they're they really worship these players and managers who are earning big money. And I don't blame the players and the managers or the club itself. I blame the fans that pay for the games. I blame the people that subscribe to Sky, which is just brainwashing, basically TV.
I agree.
Um, you
I
know,
agree.
yeah,
Because you know the world can change overnight if people stop sort of if the whole world, you know, it'll be a hard ask if people stop working for one day and stop paying or using currency
that's
for
right.
one.
Yeah, there
I
is
mean,
many ways that we can
a week would be
take away
better.
the power from them.
There are many ways,
Yeah,
but
we'll discuss that soon. Yeah,
you know the main thing is what has happened is the division with us.
definitely. Yeah, we need
All
to
all,
reunite.
all the divides have killed, you know, ruined us.
You got the what country are you from? If you're a patriot, if you're nationalistic, and
Exactly,
you've got things like religion. My God's better than your God. You
exactly,
got the race. People use that as well, but
exactly.
people need to remember we're all one. We're all mankind, and we're all equal. No one's better than anybody else.
And that's one thing what you're taught at school as well. Growing up is you work hard, you put this uniform, you're better than that man who's wearing this uniform. So you go through life, you're not referred to as Superb Steve. You're referred to as Superb Steve, the fireman, or the postman, or the milkman,
That's
or the
right.
doctor, or the doctor.
Titles. Yeah.
And if you're not working, working, you're seen as a bum, a bum,
That's right. Yeah.
and you could be, the nicest man on the planet.
Definitely.
It's, people respect the god of the world, which is money, mammon.
That's right, Mammon. Yeah. Um, I also recommend anybody that is into learning, um, you know, about like things like the Bible. That one of the best versions of the Bible translated into English is the King James 1611. If you see how the book's been cooked over the years, I mean, obviously it's not in its original language, so that would probably be the best one. But there's some really, really poor versions out there, and if you want an interesting read, something to do in your spare time, I would definitely recommend the 1611 King James, because a lot of the system is based on that authorized version.
Because that version you're talking about is the version they use in the courts,
That's right.
and even the Lord's Prayer, which I was shocked, after reading it, was different to how we grew up reading it.
That's right. I remember that bit as well. Yeah.
Where there was a bit where it says, "Forgive us our um, something
Forgive us
about
our debts as we
some,
forgive our debtors."
something about trespassing,"
That's right. Yeah. Forgive us
and
our trespasses.
yeah, "Forgive us our trespassing" or something, and
Yeah.
it's really forgive us our debtors.
That's right. Yeah.
It,
Yeah. They
it's
completely changed that
yeah, they
over the years. Like, yeah.
yeah, so it's like we're in debt to a bloodline, an elite bloodline. So they're saying we should forgive them our
Yeah.
debtors because we're always in debt.
That's right. They're screwing us. Like,
That's why this. So that's part of the reason why they say we are born into sin because we're in debt.
that's right. Yeah. And one of the first times when things really go downhill. It should be one of the most beautiful days of your life when you're born into the earth, into the world. But it's when the parents, a lot of them don't know what they're doing, but when they inform on you and fill out the birth certificate, which is really pushed on them to do.
Well, that's right. That's true. That's
And
that
whether
is
whether you're whatever your religion is, once that form has been filled in, you've basically been baptized. So you might think you're a different religion, but you're actually all Catholics because once you fill in that form, you've been baptized into the Vatican system.
very true. That is very true.
And
You are owned.
so yeah, it's important for people to think very carefully before filling in that form.
But then,
There's a lot more to it.
but then they trick you, because individually, they will make your life very, very unpleasant by saying, okay, well, you can't do nothing. They say that is your ID, and for the rest of your life, and they will try and say you cannot go to school if you do not fill out a birth certificate for the child. They'll do, they'll say many things to scare you. And
Definitely.
the common one is they will say to the parent that you're going to get a big fine too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's like £1,000 or something.
£2,000,
Yeah,
which in the end is just a threat because no one has been fined.
that's right.
It's like the census, when they say okay, everyone has to fill it out, and they will try and say it's law, but what law are they talking about? Well, what's the wording for the law? Who's the, if there's a criminal act, who is the victim? You haven't filled out the form. Who's the actual victim? For a crime, you need like an injured party, don't you?
That's right. Yeah,
Or a victim, someone who's lost something.
totally. Another thing I was going to mention about being born is the vaccinations that they give, and I mean they give so many of them now, but they don't really. It's so unnatural to inject, especially on a baby or anybody, But it's
That is,
just where did this come from that you inject something that they don't really tell you what they're injecting, and there's no liability if you die after being vaccinated, and it's
that's
just really sad, to see children and parents going along with it, without asking the right questions and
that is
thinking about
sad.
it. Yeah,
Sad because we've also learned that these injections are not needed.
that's right.
They're, they're born they're born with a healthy, strong immune system, which is developing, and these injections harm the child's development of their own uh, blood cells, of the white blood cells.
That's right. Yeah.
It's, so,
Just sort of making you sick really early on,
of
and
course,
people
it's get
wonder why they're
get
always
it
in the hospital or getting
get you
sick.
ready. Those injections will get you ready for cancer and all those other man-made diseases later on in life.
Because there's so many different diseases now, and there's all these different names for them, but they've all just come out of nowhere, kind of thing. There wasn't anywhere near as many sick people. Many years ago, it was people would heal themselves. There'd be no going into a hospital, and it's like somebody said to me once that there were only sick people when doctors started. Whenever they started to have more and more doctors and hospitals, that's when people started getting sick because they were making people sick.
Of course,
Um,
side effects. They teach you about side effects of medicine, and if you really check it out, the side effects are the actual effects.
that's right. Yeah,
So they're the effects of the medicine. So you'll be treated for those effects again.
that's
So
it.
that's why you
Yeah,
find these old ladies walking around with a handbag full of pills.
that's
You
right. Yeah.
you hear them rattling down the road. You can't even see them, but you can hear them a mile off.
Totally. Yeah.
Oh my God! I've got to take this at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've got to take that one an hour later. For me, blood.
Yeah, and it sort of goes back to that thing we were talking about trusting the doctor. I
Oh,
mean, anybody that's experienced going to the GP surgery in the UK will notice that you get you get very little time with the doctor. It's very quick, and it usually results in a paracetamol or some kind of antibiotics being prescribed, which they obviously get kickback for. And it's like they don't really want to talk to you about um, your diet or your lifestyle, what
no,
could be the root cause of what's going on. But one thing
no,
I've learned is just to use Doctor Google, as far as I'm concerned, or go on YouTube and find natural ways,
of
or go to
course,
alternative medicine if you can.
because everybody's body is unique. It's their own temple, should I say?
Totally.
And it is, was made perfect. And they've just given out his tablets. Like shoes. One size fits all sort of thing.
That's right.
Uh, everyone needs their own personal medication, and we have that already. But that's another topic.
Yeah.
That's your that's quite deep. You're drinking your own urine.
That's right. Yeah, that's something that we've been learning about lately, but we will definitely do an episode on that in the future.
You have
Because
and it is proven now. Gandhi drank his own urine. There's many people, and
that's right.
it's very big in India, big in China.
Definitely. And we also want to mention distilled water as well. Make sure that you're not drinking the tap water, because there's so much chemicals in it now, and um, you know it's advisable to try to avoid it. And if you can either go on urine therapy or get a distiller, to make your own distilled water. And
That's right.
any
Well, that's something your local GP would not advise.
That's right. Yeah.
Can you imagine your GP telling you to drink your urine?
No way. No way.
Or
Yeah, they always say put it, in the toilet, flush it, get rid of it.
yeah,
It smells, and but yeah, definitely we're uncovering a lot of things that we've been taught, that we can't do, but now we're realizing that that's the good stuff. It's the
it is amazing as well because growing up as well, we never really got a chance, especially in a country like the UK or America. You never really get a chance to learn about your own history with your family.
That's right,
Like, just say you might be in Venezuela or Caribbean or Africa, you'd be learning about your family tree and how they've done things. But because we've come over from other countries, and it'll be nice to know how your great great grandparents did things.
definitely,
What they did and what mine also did. All the herbs, what they used to use. So all that is part of our own history.
definitely.
All we're taught is someone else's story, which most of the time has no jack shit to do with us. A lot of it is lies. But yeah,
Right,
if we can go back 500-600 years, and you'll find that people had better diets.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, especially now with the GMOs in the food,
Yeah.
and things like chemtrails. Obviously, you got like the RAF; they're flying over all the time with these planes. Um, I mean, I've actually complained about it to the RAF, and they've denied it and said that it's contrails, and but when you do the research, you realise that they don't last as long in the sky, and
That's true. That's true.
it's just it affects your breathing. I don't even like going out that much now because of them. It's just go for a nice walk outside in the country, and you got all that going on.
Because what was good, I actually saw your letters, what you wrote to the mayor, to the local mayor.
That's right.
Which
Yeah, yeah,
I have to take my hat off to him. He actually done his job.
yeah. They're pretty good
Uh,
when you do write to them. They do normally get in touch, and
I did notice in his response, the mayor's response, he did also, from his own words, he agreed with you.
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
I
Yeah,
remember that. He actually
yeah,
agreed. He thought chemtrails as well.
yeah. That's
And,
right.
this was during the time of the Olympics, London Olympics 2012, I believe,
That's right. Yeah,
just before. And, the weather was absolutely perfect for that time as well. No surprise.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and he wrote to the RAF, which is, and they responded back to say it was just normal aeroplane sort of trails.
That's right. Yeah.
And as they always say, there's so many conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy facts, I call them.
That's yeah,
Yeah,
because what the news is, what they come out is a theory. It's their conspiracy theory.
yeah. Because a lot of this conspiracy talk, really took off after JFK's assassination,
And that's
and
true.
a lot of people then were, they were told, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist for believing anything different other than the official story." Another one that we want to talk about is 9/11 and the 7/7
Yeah.
bombings. Something that we're going to do in a later episode.
Then you also get to the murder of Lady Diana.
That's right. Yeah, it's another one.
Same sort of people involved in that too.
Totally. Yeah.
Uh, There was one of the popes that was killed as well, and he was. Um, I need to do my homework on that.
It's okay.
I'll talk about that. But
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many unexplained stories out there, but I never take the official story. I never go by the news because it's all owned by only a few people, and
exactly.
it's you'll never get truth if you go there. Always better to do your own research, look at alternative viewpoints, and
So
um,
totally agree.
yeah,
Totally agree.
The other thing we recommend to our listeners is, if you haven't done it already, is to give up the TV. That's something that I done quite a while ago now, and I remember being not very happy about the TV license, and I sort of moved into a flat and didn't particularly want to pay it. Didn't really like TV either. I didn't used to hate the channels that they had and programs, and yeah, I basically just cancelled, you know, having a TV license, and didn't get a TV. Just got a computer, and I very rarely watch TV at all.
Well, that's great, and I also have done the same.
That's right. Yeah.
Just television has changed over the years, and I would admit that for my age, 43, I've grown up with the TV. So it's like these young children now, they're growing up with computers. So, they would find it hard to live without a computer, and to not have a TV now for a few years has been a real blessing.
Totally.
My imagination has improved. I feel happier. The TV's not on just with people babbling on about celebrity this or celebrity that.
Right.
There was a time when TV was half decent, when there were some good, talented performing arts on. Where even the comedians like Laurel and Hardy.
Definitely.
Only Fools and Horses, real talent, but
definitely.
And then you have these shows like Celebrity This or Celebrity That or
yeah, Idol. Reality TV shows and
absolutely crap.
Just rubbish. Yeah.
It's just there to humiliate people, really.
Definitely.
Which I notice the Brits and Americans like to do.
Yep, they like to be entertained and brainwashed by the message that they're trying to put out. And obviously we talked before about movies, like Hollywood in particular. The messages they put in the big blockbuster movies, and all movies in general. Now when you watch a movie, it's a completely different experience, because you're always noticing these things now in movies.
Because the TV is, by without a shadow of doubt, is the biggest hypnotizer on the planet.
Definitely.
And that is what it is designed for.
That's right. And I mean, another one is the newspapers. I personally never buy newspapers, but sometimes when I'm on a tube, I'll pick up one of the free ones.
Yeah, sure.
And I've stopped doing it as of late, because I've noticed it's all depressing. It's all about things that are bad in the system. That it's just terrible. Yeah.
Putting you in a different mindset.
Totally.
It's about having you think and feel the way they want you to feel. To be scared and to be fearful.
Yep, that's right.
Instead of being your natural, happy self when you go out. That's right. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. I've got no time for it now. I just, the way I see it is, it's all just to make you feel bad, and it just depresses you, to be honest, looking at it. And I think now, if I see a newspaper, I'll just ignore it and not read it.
Good. Man.
Yeah, and it definitely changes your outlook. You feel a lot more positive. You feel happier. Yeah, don't let those things get in your way.
Yeah, because the media or newspapers, they're not there for us.
That's right.
We missed out on a good life, or where we never had the opportunity. As we were talking about our school younger days, wouldn't it be nice to sort of learn things yourself, learn about the planet we live on?
Definitely.
But oh no, that was kept away from us, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Thing that supports us, what keeps us alive, we hardly know much about.
Yeah.
And we're going through life having all these chemicals inside of us, which loses potency. You mix things up together, you make it weaker.
Definitely.
You have an orange, vitamin C, and you get 100% pure vitamin C inside of you. Or you have some broccoli, but Yeah, it's shocking. It is shocking what we have sort of learnt and what we have accepted
Definitely.
as the truth and reality.
And like another thing that I wanted to talk about was, I have different, friends and family, and they've all got different points of view, but a lot of them don't share like our view about how corrupt and how messed up the
Uh,
world is. A lot of them are happy in their own
it's
life.
that's another thing. That's an interesting point you bring up, Superb.
Yeah,
Um, People see that the way we talk, they see it as really dangerous. I've noticed.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
They see they even sort of see worse than like a terrorist even because if you check it out, you can see the game and you're a free man. You got a free mind. Your thoughts are your own, and that is something what they do not like.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, because I remember learning about a lot of these things, and like anybody, you're really enthusiastic. You want to share it with, your
Uh,
friends, and you think that they're all gonna want to know as well. But I
But
learned that.
they look to you as if you should be in St Bernard's, which St Bernard's
Yeah.
is a mental
Mental
home.
hospital. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I
Is
mean, there are exceptions. There are other like-minded people we know. So I'm not going to say it for everybody. And there's
no, of
many
course.
people that we've met, in meetings and out in the real world that do share our views. And anytime we get to meet up with them, we're really happy because
Well,
you know
I would say they're not really our views. We're just seeking the truth, and we're
that's right. Yeah,
truth seekers, as I like
definitely.
to call it.
Yeah,
Because if they were our views, it would be from us, but it's actually views that anyone can find out.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel that was very, very good. First episode, a good introduction to what we're about, and
Yeah,
this is kind of how it's going to be. It's going to be unstructured, and we talk about many different topics, as we call it, the different
excellent,
range.
excellent.
Um,
I quite enjoyed that. It was at times a bit nervous, didn't flow, but I thought it went really good.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll just give you guys some contact details for our show. So obviously, anyone who wishes to contact us can do so by emailing us. Our email address is superbdiamondrange@gmail.com. We also have a Twitter page where you can follow us, which is Superb Diamond Ra, which is Superb Diamond and then RA. Please also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Every each and every Monday, schedule permitting, we'll be releasing a new one. So yeah, we just hope you enjoyed our show. And any final words, Diamond?
Well, I've really enjoyed talking to you. It's been a while, and I'll be off to the Philippines next week. So we'll continue the show, but from the sunny Philippines, and I'll just need to check with you the time difference. But
Sure, sure. Yeah, you must be very excited about it going over there.
I certainly am, and as you know, the clocks are going back or forward in the UK, the
That's right.
20,
Yeah,
27th of October. So I'll bear that in mind as well. So I think the clocks are going back. So
a bit like the people going backwards.
oh,
Some of them.
without a doubt. Sorry to
Yeah,
say without a doubt, but
yeah.
they're
No,
waking up.
we hope that more people wake up, and
Yeah,
um, yeah. So anyway, that was a great first show, and very excited to get it off the ground, and look forward to doing many more in the near future.